Do you experience dysphoria, and how does that affect you? That's a complicated question. I deal with body dysmorphic disorder, which is mostly about body size and sizes of my body parts and the smoothness of my body. So like I'm a scab picker, and I'll look in the mirror and I'll see somebody like 5 times my size, and my nose is like 5 times as big. So I see things like that. In any way that it could be gender related, like I think curves are associated with femininity, right? So I have a pretty curvaceous figure. I have breasts. I have a pretty big bottom. I have big hips and a big bottom, and for a lot of my life, I was very uncomfortable with that. Uncomfortable with having my body be curvaceous, and that again could be more of a racial issue. I felt like, even when I was 10 years old and I started developing, I was very resentful of getting these curvaceous body parts because at 10 years old I started being sexualized by grown men, and I kind of like resented my body and was upset with my body for making me vulnerable to something like that. I know that that's not right. Like, it's not my fault that I was surrounded by pervy old men. But yeah, I had that kind of thing, and I hated my hips, and I still have a real big problem with my hips and with my butt. My butt I'm very self-conscious about, like, and it's a lot of that. I don't like being sexualized in that way. I don't like I don't like it. I don't like being sexualized for my butt. Like, I don't know. When I was little, it felt like having breasts and having a big butt entitled people to treat me like an object, like a sex object. Like, they were entitled to touch me, and they were entitled to ogle at me just because I had these body parts. So I would do everything I could to hide them. Like, I would wear dresses that would hide the shape of my bottom and of my hips, because that's the only option. Jeans do not hide the size of my hips and my butt. And I, like, found sports bras and tried to, like, make my boobs smaller. When I was in high school, I tried to bind them with tape. That was bad. So you shouldn't do that, FYI. You should not try to bind your boobs with tape. But that was something I tried to do. And how has what was the follow-up question? How did that affect me? I don't know. I mean, body dysphoria is not fun. And in the sense of, like, feeling good about myself and confident and learning to love myself again, I've made incredible strides in doing that. But there are still some days that I'm just like, let's squeeze everything in and, like, make it disappear. But in general, I think it's okay. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that were an option for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you may have? Talking about children is really interesting. My entire life, whether it was, being raised as a girl and being conditioned day one that your body is for babies, who knows? But I've always, like, since I can remember, like, from the age of 4, like, looked at my stomach and patted and put my hand on it and thought, one day there's gonna be a baby in there. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah, that's something that I've thought about my whole life is, you know, having a baby in my body. And always thought that it was a really cool idea. As I get older, I get a little nervous about having a child because I realize more and more that when my mom's gone, then I have to take care of my little sister because she's autistic, nonverbal, and needs constant care. So that would be me that has to do that. So I kind of already have a kid. And I'll have her and take care of her for as long as I live, as long as I'm alive. So adding another child to that mix, I mean, taking care of my sister is already scary enough. Adding another child to that, I don't know. I'd have to see where I'm at, because I would love to, but I'll have to see about that. That's something I don't really have to worry about now, and something definitely in my situation, you just gotta take it day by day and see what happens. I don't necessarily need to carry a child. I'm also very passionate about adoption and foster care. I'm just very passionate about, giving love to a child in whatever way I can do that. Talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more than a partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or when they offer to pay for you? I don't know. I don't really have any discomfort with like who makes more money. I don't really care about that, but I do think that I think I would prefer if my partner were a working partner, because I think that I would need the economic assistance from a partner. I don't think I could manage to take care of everything myself, but that's only because I'm currently like semi-unemployed, pretty unemployed, like 95% unemployed, maybe making a little income freelancing here and there. Because of my current medical condition. So yeah, money scares me sometimes. I don't have any problem with someone making more money than me. With paying for stuff like on dates, it would only bother me if it happened all the time. And I felt kind of like I'm not getting the opportunity to help. Because I think in a romantic partnership, in a friendship, in anything, it has to be a balance of like give and take. You have to be able to help each other out. And if it's unbalanced, I don't think that's healthy, and I think that it's going to cause resentment at some point. And you can say a million times, I would never resent you. It's a balance. We gotta be there for each other. And that's the kind of relationship I would prefer, is, it's gotta be equal. We gotta be able to help each other out. I definitely couldn't have someone as a partner that economically burdens me, because I barely have enough money to take care of myself, let alone my sister or other kids that we might have. So definitely I need someone who has some kind of income of their own. Pretty sure. And finally, anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? Jesus. Okay, 5 minutes left on the clock. Anything else I want to say about gender? I don't know. For the past couple of years, and maybe the people that I've had these conversations with are watching this video. That would be cool. If you are, let me know, please. But whenever I've even thought about gender throughout my entire life, and the question just keeps coming up more and more as I get older, is like, I think gender is so ridiculous. And I don't want to say that in a way that offends anybody that is very passionate and very attached to their gender identity. For me, it's hard for me to understand. Because the rules that were created, the gender roles that are created to match genders, right? They don't make sense. Like, nobody fits the rule 100% of the time. According to gender roles, You got a bunch of really vague, broad rules like, you know, girls like pink and boys like blue. Girls like dolls and boys like sports. And like, why can't a boy like pink? And why can't a boy like dolls? Why wouldn't a girl play sports? Because a lot of girls are fantastic at sports. Like, and by not following rules like that, you're gender non-conforming already, right? Because those are the rules. Nobody fits these boxes 100% of the time. And it just, I don't know. Most of us don't follow these rules. And then you think about, you know, and that's why also I never fully felt attached to the identity of woman or any kind of gender identity really, because if someone were to ask me what it means to be a woman, I'm like, I don't freaking know. Because there's so many different ways to be a woman. And there's so many ways to be a man. Though our current culture really kind of like cages in men and the way they can behave. But women have a lot of liberties, you know, like at least we can wear pants while boys still can't wear skirts. Like, it's not so socially acceptable. But I think we're moving towards a more progressive and liberal place on that, which is really cool. And hopefully the incoming generation kind of gives no F's about gender and, you know, just completely smashes the system. I don't know. And also, like, so if I were to try and define it, like, from what I understand as a society, as a culture of human beings, like, women equals submissive, women equals soft, delicate, pink, and men equals strong and blunt and protector and chivalrous. It's like man is big spoon, women is little spoon, and it's all very heteronormative and kind of reminds me of like the empath narcissistic dynamic oftentimes. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to have the answers on that. It is something I've been curious about / nonchalant about my whole life, and I'm just in the middle of learning more and excited to learn more. But for now, these are my answers, and I'm really excited to talk more about it. So please, if you're watching this, I would love for you to do the gender tag as well. I will leave the questions for it in the comments below. And I'm the worst. I will leave the questions for you in the information box below, and please leave me a comment about what you think and any other comments that you might possibly have. And I will see you guys eventually. Bye!